Hey, my name is Jerrod Bowen, and this is Backstage. Check it out.
Jerrod, if you would, tell us what brought you to this beautiful thing we call music.
I gotta say, it probably started early in life, probably like at early age, living at my grandmom's house. My aunt, she kind of inspired to be a musician. She did a lot of singing around the house, various songs being played, Madonna, Isaac Brothers, Isaac Hayes, Player, pretty much you name it, Willie Nelson. It's something that's kind of stuck in my heart, you know what I mean? So I walk with music every day, even when I'm just chilling, nothing on in a meeting. I can hear James Brown like talking to me or something in my head. I don't know if that's normal, but that's just something that, you know what I mean? So I kind of know that I got a little different, beat, with myself, with music, compared to somebody who just listens to it. I actually hear it, so that's what it is.
Is this Aunt Baby Lil?
Yeah, her name is Lillian, but we call her Baby Lil.
Baby Lil, yes. Worked with her in the studio, but also has been a big part of your music, actually.
I mean, when she like my first superstar, she's like my Patti LaBelle type of person, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I look up to her, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, when you talk about, some of your influences with music, I know that back early on when we were working together too, Tupac was a big influence. There were others though. Share those others if you would with us.
Tupac is like the Michael Jordan of rap, you know what I mean? So that's just how it go down. But hip hop is Tribe Called Quest, Snoop Dogg, B.I.G. Hip hop back then, I mean, when I first started, it was various people. Now, I mean, it's kind of hard to name who's who because they don't really, I feel like protect the craft. But it's definitely guys that I grew up with was just like A-list. You couldn't, every Tuesday you had to go to Sound Odyssey or Sam Goody and make sure you had at least $20 because you were coming out with 2 CDs. You know what I mean? So a lot of my best friends' relationships started over music, especially like with the Wu-Tang. When I was in school, a friend of mine, female, shout out to her named Jessica, she gave me my first Wu-Tang tape, let me borrow it and dub it. And here we are, we still friends to this day because of that tape.
Tape, come on, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So.
Well, you said something about protecting the craft.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah. I don't want to offend nobody, you know what I mean, because people get a little sensitive about it, but hip-hop is not just music, it's a culture. So it's how you walk, you talk, you dress, how you conduct yourself. I think a lot of people got it twisted now where it makes it seem like it's about being drugs and being stupid or not being educated. Back then you had a variety, Public Enemy, like I said, Tupac, Big, so you had your party music, you had your educational music, you had everything, Slick Rick telling stories. You had a variety of stuff that you had to get, you had to listen to. It's not just one thing that you just like, okay, well, he's saying the same thing he's saying, and she's saying the same thing he's saying. And it was all about competition in your lyrics, and they pretty much had to be sharp, you know what I mean? People don't really focus on that too much anymore, if you notice.
Can you share a little bit about what your experience of the hip-hop culture here on Delmarva has been like, and how, for example, is it different in the different portions of Delmarva? Is hip-hop in Maryland different from hip-hop in Eastern Shore, Virginia, or Delaware? Can you expand upon that?
Well, I mean, I grew up on Eastern Shore, so I can't really say about what other people, how they feel, because hip-hop is universal. You got people in Korea and all these other places who listen to hip-hop, and their perspective might be different than mine. Mine started with hanging out with older cousins and listening to their tapes and dubbing tapes and all that kind of stuff like that. So we was more into the East Coast and the West Coast. Then Outkast came from the Midwest. We kind of started digging them. And then we started listening to the samples of who they sampled it from, like Isaac Hayes again or the Ozzy Brothers. That's when I kind of took it further, like listen to Roy Ayers and things like that. But it's not a big culture, I would say, as far as how people carry it. But if you look at the young people and people just in general, you will see it of how they carry themselves, that they are hip-hop. You know what I mean? But it all started more so just being in the house, listening to music all day and all night. Rap City, you on TV raps, that was pretty much our life. So that's the culture that we saw. And we took what we saw on TV and took it and used it for our everyday life.
So am I hearing you talk like that? You've kind of been like a sponge, you
Yeah.
like the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest.
Yeah.
how, as an artist here on Delmarva, what are the challenges that you faced trying to do your craft, your art?
I mean, I probably say the biggest challenge is just from coming from here, like people don't see it the way they see it from like New York or Philly. They always say it's like that's the spot, or LA. Those are the spots where you can find talent. So they're not gonna necessarily look down here and say, oh well, you can find your next star on Eastern Shore of Maryland. But there might be, but people just don't really take that kind of time to listen out and see. And there are a lot of people too, I think, that being here, they see what goes on in these cities or other places, and they lose their identity of who they are as an artist. So now they find themselves trying to be like somebody else and trying to make a quick buck instead of trying to be themselves and build their brand.
Do you feel that the stories that are here, in communities here, on the shore, are distinctly different from some like others and there are stories that need to be told through song, through verse?
It's natural because everywhere you live, it's gonna be different. You know what I mean? Like now, I'm near the Wilmington area, so Wilmington is different than living in Berlin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it
Just
just
a little.
yeah, so it's just gonna be different. But it can be the same thing. The story is just gonna be told in a different perspective. It always like even like with a movie, the movie can be told by Quentin Tarantino with all talk, but be shown by Spike Lee with like all action. It's the
Right.
same story, but it's done in a different way,
Exactly.
and it just depends on how you want to hear it, see it.
One of the other questions that I did, I mean, I want to backtrack just a little bit. Do you feel that now that we have gotten so entrenched into social media and into YouTube, and that it actually opens doors for you to get your art out on a big scale?
It does in a good and a bad way.
Can you expand upon that?
Well, I mean, in a good way, everybody gets to see what's going on. But then in the bad way, you put a camera in front of somebody, it's like they make a song with their grandma dancing in the background. They're like, oh, that's a hip hop song. No, it's not really a hip hop song. It's just a song. So people try to have a bad habit of putting certain things in the hip hop category, and it's just that ain't really true.
Well, do you also feel like sometimes, yeah, you've got an international audience, however, everybody does. So it's like there's just to try to break through the just huge mass of people, including artists, trying to get their music out there. Do you feel like it's more difficult?
So the cream pretty much always rises to the top, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, those things like that are more so gimmicky. You know what I mean? Anybody who has an ear, like I said again in the beginning, or listen to music, by way past that. You know what I mean? So.
Do you think that, the average person has this probably different concept of what an artist does. They probably think that we're just rolling in money and doing all kinds of stuff, but it's hard.
It's very hard.
It's very hard, isn't it?
There's a lot of cost in it,
And a lot of time too. And how do you balance that in your life?
Right now, I mean, I just balance it by just focusing on me. And somewhat kind of being selfish a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, I know what I'm trying to do, where I'm trying to go with it, so I don't really entertain a whole lot of other stuff that might kind of cause a conflict with the music. Because if the music calls, then I'm going to be there. If we got to rehearse at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be there. Some people might not understand that, you know what I mean? So I kind of erase that from my life right now and just focus on what I got to focus on, like laser vision, you know what I mean?
Well, you also, though, do some tremendous work with people who are having trouble in society. Does that influence your music, too?
I mean, like I said, the way I grew up kind of influenced my music. We was taught to be, kind of grew up in a Christian house. So we was taught to kind of, love each other and be real, and the things that go on outside, I'm not immune to, you know what I mean? So I know about certain things, or I seen certain things, so I'm not like a person who got a perfect life or everything is going well and swell all the time. So try to be real and talk about what's going on in life, like the first time I heard real funk music, honestly, was in church. Drums, bass, people falling out, passing out. It was church, but it was straight, funky. You know what I mean? That's why I see it. Like when I was in church, I was listening to the music.
Well, let's talk about some of the music. Let's talk about some of the tunes that are going to happen at the shop today. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, these we're gonna do 2 songs off my album called Days of Grace. It's produced by K Murdoch, and the album is gonna be called Days of Grace. Like I said, we're doing a song called Saturday Night, and we're gonna do a song called Summer '96. Saturday Night is basically the song that I wrote sitting in my car on a Saturday night, listening to the radio. They played a lot of '70s and '80s music on Saturdays, and they played a song by Minnie Riperton that had a little loop in it that I liked, and I took that sample and kind of made a song, kind of dedicating it towards her. You know what I mean? About like living your life and living your dream to the fullest. You know, and Summer '96 is basically the song I did, kind of about my love for hip hop and like falling in love on campus when I went to UMS at the same time. And I got one of my artists that's actually gonna be on my label, Kilo, on that song. So we're gonna definitely do that up tonight.
Well, man, that sounds great. Let's listen to that song.
It's just a love song. Check it out, check it out. It's just a love song.
It's the summer of '96. I'm in the mix like this. I'm in the mix like this. Look, it's the summer of '96. I'm in the mix like this. I'm in the mix like this. Look, it's the summer of '96. I'm in the mix like this. I'm in the mix like this.
Yo, it's the summer of '96. I'm in the mix like this. I started off with this beautiful bliss. Now this uptown Philly, a young Maximilli from Philly. I'm in on campus, got my mind kinda dizzy. Your books in my hand, you're chilling with my man on the wall. The season's fall, so I'm just for the call. And this is Illidale's finest. Your light skin, quick with the blend. I started off with a schoolboy grin and say my name, shake her hand. She smiled and replied with the same. Give me her number, I'm feeling no pain. And now the code is 484. I call with my foot at the floor. Me talking like a log some more about music and life and everything in between. I got dreams to fulfill your needs. So child, please feel free to give me a call so I can introduce you to the raw. And yes, y'all.
At first we stick it off on a normal date. I couldn't get my words out cause the beauty of your face, you had class. And your style was pretty different from the rest. Kinda figured you were just my type. Laid back, couldn't imagine you being the drama type. Attitude like whatever, not budget from all the hype. A perfect match, 100% down to earth. Gotta respect where you coming from and what it's worth. Hands down, look, I know it's crazy. You can fast, kick back, enjoy the moments of life. Cause it's very slim, you'll find a cool brother nowadays. They either up to nothing or stuck in their ways. I'm trying to give you peace, not war, but at the same time, if we do this to the world, create a mind and thought is what I'm giving you. Open your eyes and realize I'm feeling you.
Hey yo, check it, respect it. So many people go neglected in the world. Yo, boys and girls, broken hearts, broken promises. But think positive, see, cause when you free, anything can be. And let your heart run free, like forever open. And keep hoping to find love in Pacific Ocean. Single, no babies, get your education. You and me, yes, so don't stress.
Look, I'm digging your style. It's been a while since I had something like this. My past wasn't nothing compared to this. Thought I was a game, playing the game, making mistakes, but I was wrong. All they wanted was a piece of my cake. I see the difference in you. I see you honest and true. I see you independent. I'm so enlightened to you.
Alright.
Let's go and take a late night cruise, feel the breeze, recline back, enjoy the beautiful view.
This goes out to all the pedicure toes. Also those that respect the God flows. You say it ain't so, yo, we bout to make it glow. Me and Kilo make the crowd say go. This goes out to all the pedicure toes. Also those that respect the God flows. Say it ain't so, yo, we bout to make it glow. Me and Kilo make the crowd say go. Yo, this goes out to all the pedicure toes. Also those that respect the God flows. Say it ain't so, yeah, we bout to make it glow. Me and Kilo make the crowd say go. This goes out to all the pedicure toes. Also those that respect the God flows. Say it ain't so, yeah, we bout to make it glow. Me and Kilo make the crowd say ho. Me and Kilo make the crowd say ho. Me and Kilo make the crowd say ho. Yo, me and Kilo make the crowd say ho. Yo, me and Kilo make the crowd say ho. Yo, me and Kilo make the crowd say ho. Yo, me and Kilo make the crowd say ho. Yo, me and Kilo, we make the crowd say ho. Me and Kilo, we make the crowd say ho.
Bubbleoo. Bubbleoo. Bubbleoo.
That was great, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's talk about places to perform here on Delmarva. I mean, this song that we just heard is great. People need to hear it, and they're going to want to come hear you live. What are the challenges that hip-hop and rap artists have had here on Delmarva?
People have a bad a misunderstanding, you know, with the music and, you know, what we really do and what we really stand for, you know. So I think people sometimes think it's like something that anybody can do. It's just something that's not no big deal. Really, you know, we're writers. And we artists, you know. I mean, we tell the news, we tell what's going on in the news, you know. And a lot of people don't really understand that, you know. And I think also too, sometimes the thing that's on the internet, they don't understand it either because they think it's just something that's gimmicky. And it's really not. It's something that takes hard work and dedication, you know, and you gotta have pride, you know, try to make it happen.
So would you say that basically the way that you are an artist is you're creating an education about this culture that people can learn from and develop an appreciation for?
Yeah, but I mean, that was passed on to me, like I said, as a child, you know, the appreciation of the music, because I saw everything my aunt went through, singing in nightclubs and singing in church and, you know, being rejected and things like that. She didn't just do it because that's what she wanted to do. She did it because she loved it. And that was something that was still in me. So I do it because I love it. You know, whether somebody like it or don't like it, I don't really get that no thought when I'm writing a song. You know, I mean, I gotta be honest, you know, because like Tupac said, the first word that come to mind is usually the right word. You know, don't give it thought, just do it.
Okay. Do you write every day?
I write as much as I can. I got bills to pay right now too, so I write as much as I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to share to somebody out there that is thinking that they would love to do this? What's your advice to them?
You know, my advice would be to be yourself and just know that there's gonna be ups and downs. This thing might cost you relationships, might cost you friendships, but if it's something that you really want to do, then move forward and just do it with people that really got your back. You know what I mean? And keep pushing.
If you ain't doing what you want, then you really ain't living. You really ain't living. Now you really ain't living. If you ain't doing what you want, then you really ain't living. You really ain't living. You really ain't
They
living.
never think outside the box, so they never touch a million. You never think of ways of how to save the children. Never travel through the mind, see what's on the other side, so they walk around dumb.
Deafened.
You know the rest. God bless the brain dead. Capital L, you to the H. The L spells love and the H, you spells hate.